Uh-huh. Good. We are live. And yes, I have immediately started this live by just showing you the back of my head. But that's fine. Right. Curry. We're making curry. But before we make curry, there are a few other things I need to do. The first being, remember what those things were. And then do them. Yes. Also, is the audio any better? I mean, I should wait until there's actually a viewer here to tell me. But is the audio any better? I messed around with the noise suppression settings. I hope it's better. I need that chair. Is the camera level? No. Yes. Maybe. I don't know. Ah. Before we can make curry, it is decant and rebottle day. So, yeah, I need to put these in different demijohns. And that's okay. I have two that I sanitized last night right here. Although, to be honest, I think they are done fermenting. Oh, I don't know. I'll find out in a minute. So much mess in here. Okay, that's full. Leave that alone. Are these done? It has been a month. No, you've still got CO2 in you. You have absolutely not. Oh, okay. No. You've still got something. Okay. Not quite done. Been a month. They're still going. Been a month and they're still going. Is this even long enough? I didn't check that. No, you're more than long enough. To stick you in the bottom down here. Come on, get in the hole. This is a terrible design. Who came up with this? There's no barbing or anything. That's just awful. Okay. Hey, Daniel, how are you today? Hose curry. No, I have been brewing alcohol for the past month. It is time for secondary fermentation. So I need to get them out of this demijohn and into fresh ones. But I am well today. A little pissed off, but I'm well. Other than that, hose curry would be interesting, though. I don't know how you would make curry with a hose, but we could give it a go. Let me adjust the camera a tad so you can see what I'm doing, just a little. Pissed at the TV license man. No, I haven't had any letters about that recently. Can I zoom in a tad? There we go. Angle that down a bit more. I arranged to pick something up this evening The person gave me a road name and said they would meet me there, and they were not there. And their roads were closed, and it was a bit of a drive, and it was just a... I got easily annoyed at the fact that I could not find my way home, and the fact that this person wasn't there when they said they would be. And yeah, I've just spent the last half an hour pissed off. That's all. Nothing other than that. But since I am decanting these, I guess we can taste test. Yeah, it is infuriating, especially when I had arranged to collect something I actually sort of need. Let me zoom out a little so I'm not clipping. Where did the webcam app just disappear to? There we go. You can see what I'm doing now. So it was a little Bluetooth wireless keyboard for my tablet that someone was giving away for free. And the reason I wanted that was so that I can watch and reply to chat from something that isn't this laptop. Then I can move it out of the way. Anyway, let's figure out how much alcohol we've got in here and do a little taste test. Just since I can. It has been about a month, I think. What's the date today? The 5th. Let me bring up my spreadsheet. Right, I bottled both of these for primary fermentation on the 10th last month. So it has been, 4 weeks. It's been 4 weeks. But let's see how we're smelling. Let's see how we're tasting. And I can't get that out there. Okay, that's an interesting problem. The silicon stopper is stopped. Do I have it? This isn't sanitary though. This isn't sanitized. Okay, there we go. I have to get a freshly sanitized one now because I have contaminated it with a straw. Good thing I have spares. Okay. How are we? I know that smell. Smells like my last batch of cider. They smell the same. How? Your forest fruits and really expensive apple juice. Okay, they smell the same. Great. How strong is it? It's not quite done fermenting. I'll give it another 2 weeks or so. Okay, not quite. Put that down so it's not touching. We are at 1.012. 1.012. So that's a reduction of 0.099. How much does that give me? Uh, if my measurements are right, this cider is currently 13% alcohol. 13%? Are you kidding me? Okay, let me get some sanitized solution ready. Oh, this is going to be strong. I put that in there. Put most of this back in. Yeah, I'm not having any more than that. I'm taste testing. I'm not trying to get drunk. Right. That's some strong side. Yeah, I was not. Based on the initial gravity, which was 1.111, all ones, in theory it can get up to about 14%, but anything above 12% is. It's difficult to brew from home because you need specialty yeasts. You need a yeast that is actually bred for high alcohol. But let's see what it's tasting like, see what it needs, and then bottle it for secondary fermentation. I don't get any of the fruit notes at all. This is supposed to be a summer fruit cider. It is 4 litres of apple juice and a litre of summer fruits juice mix, which I got from just crushing a load of fruits. It was blackberries, raspberries, some cherries, and some blueberries. It was just the stuff I had left over because I wanted to make cherry wine. That was the goal. And I ordered 10 bags of frozen sweet cherries. I only got 1 bag of cherries delivered. The rest of it was summer fruits because apparently Morrison's is terrible at grabbing the right stock. Okay, that is fizzy, so it is still full of CO2. It is also delicious. You are 13% alcohol and it tastes like nothing. Okay. It's a bit harsh. Gonna need back sweetening. I can't taste any of the fruit. None of it. Can't even really taste apple right now. Mm. Yeah. That's gonna need sweetening, probably a few other things. I'll have to think about that. It's also room temperature, which is probably really affecting my opinion of it. I prefer my ciders chilled. And it's definitely strong. There is an alcohol aftertaste. Anyway, let's get this in the new bottle. There we go. It is fizzy, so this isn't going to drain too quickly. You have a body that makes Nutella vodka that's to die for. Ugh. Hello, welcome. Nutella vodka. I don't know that that's a flavor combination I really want in vodka. I've tried a lot of vodkas. I don't know that I want Nutella. I mean, sure, if you just want a hazelnut alcohol, sure, okay, fine, that's fine. If you want to infuse hazelnuts into alcohol, go ahead. But chocolate and hazelnut in alcohol. I'm not a huge fan of vodka, but I had thick infused vodka before, and that was fun. No, THC, not thick. It might sound good, but somehow... It might not sound good, but somehow it works. Huh. Rum is your favourite? Yeah, rum is my favourite. I drink a lot of rum. Which is very convenient come Pirate Day every year. Hastings holds a yearly event called Pirate Day, which is just dress up and act like a pirate day. And everyone is drinking rum openly. Pirate Daniel, I don't dress up. I just go to the pubs and enjoy the atmosphere. The amount of Captain Jack Sparrow impersonators that you meet on Pirate Day is comical. And there's this one guy who is effectively the town drunk. Everyone knows him for always being drunk. But on Pirate Day, he blends in. He just seems like he's part of the tourism crowd. You don't notice him at all. And he's a laugh to be around, to be honest. I mean, he is ready to fall over at any time. But when he dresses up like a pirate for Pirate Day, him being unsteady on his feet, it's just part of his character. Is this already kinked? No? Just a lot of air in it. Okay, great. Are we cooking meth on today's stream? Oh, I wish. No, I've been brewing alcohol for the past month. It's time to move them into fresh jars for secondary fermentation. Got that Walter White kitchen set up. It's just some demi-johns. It looks like you're performing a blood transfusion. Oh no, we haven't even gotten to the wine yet. We haven't gotten to the cherry wine. That's a deeper red. That is a deeper red. Yeah. I think that's all I'm going to get. He's cleaning the blood of all the microplastics. No. There's no microplastics in my blood from what I'm aware of. I don't use a plastic chopping board. I don't use plastic cutlery. Right. That will need a rinse in a minute. Right now, though, this is why you swap demijohns. Look at all that sludge, which is dead yeast and byproducts of fermentation. You don't want that affecting the final taste. And it just smells like bread. It's got that yeasty smell in it. Anyway, that's why you swap demijohns halfway through. So, we will leave this for secondary fermentation, probably another 3 weeks or so. I'll measure it again in 2 just to find out. And are we producing CO2? Yes, we are. That is full of CO2. Awesome. You want to make sure you've got at least, some CO2 in there before you bottle it, because, well, with cider, oxygen oxygenates the apple juice, and you end up with like a soapy taste. So it's very important. With wine, I'm not quite sure what it does. Every human on the planet currently has microplastics detectable in their bloodstreams. Kind of crazy. Even breathing the air. Ugh. How did I learn to do this? A lot of YouTube videos and trial and error. Probably Google or reading books. Oh. Yeah, no, mostly YouTube. I followed a few recipes the first time that I brewed alcohol, and then trial and error, I've just improved my own recipes as I've made more and more each year. I only brew in like the first few months of spring every year, so I only do one batch a year. Anyway, let me just quickly rinse out the siphon, and then we'll do the wine. All over the floor. It is all over the floor. Have I ever tried making moonshine? Um, there's a reason that you don't make moonshine, especially not in a small flat this size. The prevalence for it to become explosive. Home distillation is still illegal in this country, as far as I'm aware. Lots of things are illegal in this country, and people still do it. Yes, I've heard bad moonshines can cause blindness. That's That's specifically moonshines that are brewed outside due to bacterial contamination. The trope of, that gag, really strong alcohol, you instantly lose your eyesight. That's not how it happens. It happens a few hours to a few days after the fact. It's probably a sign of good moonshine. Eh. Well, I've never tried moonshine because I don't know anyone that's mad enough to try making it. But if I meet the right people, who knows? I probably don't need to worry about cross-contamination too much. I mean, I just don't want the flavour of the apples or the fruits moving into the wine. I'm using the same yeast. They were batched at the same time. Probably got some nice flavour selections as well. You can order it online. I actually sell it in stores over here. Where is over here? Where is over here and can I visit? Right, time for the one that exploded. Canada. Oh no, that makes sense. That makes sense. Canada is a lot more lax with that kind of thing than the UK is. Probably just to spite us. And now I need another straw. We have legal MDMA and shrooms. Yeah, legalized shrooms in the UK. Give me that. Give me that, Parliament. Legalized shrooms, please. Just for the sake of being able to sleep. In the UK, you require a license to make shit these days. You really do. You can't even sell homegrown fruit and veg at a local farmer's market because you need a license to prove that it's safe to eat. You need a license and testing, which you pay for, by the way, to prove that your homegrown fruit and veg is safe to eat. Now, I would definitely be taking shrooms for sleeping. If I took them. Like the reason that I like edibles is because I will take them to get a good night's sleep. I have insomnia. Anything that helps me sleep, I will take. I'm gonna cut myself like now, Jesus. Oh, oh, that's just covered in dead bits of stuff. Right. Oh, wait a second. Sniff test. That smells revolting. Oh, it, you can never go off the smell, especially with primary fermentation. It's always, yeah. That does just smell like rotting fruit. That's probably all the stuff that's stuck to the top of the jar. I hope anyway. If I've ended up wasting my time with this wine, I will not be happy. Because this wine made an absolute mess. It exploded everywhere. It foamed up like no other brew I've ever done before. Oh, good God, you're strong. Okay. This one is practically done fermenting then. Wow. Well, yeah, watch it taste amazing. Microdosing magic shrooms would be great if you struggle with low moods and want a creativity boost. Oh, yeah, something to get me right into writing. That would be good. 1.002. 1.002. It is 2% denser than water right now. Okay, according to the math, that makes this about 9.2%. Not quite as strong as I was hoping for. But it would have to go below 1 to reach the strengths that I was hoping for. Still, this is going to need some kind of like wood infusion, oak maybe. Yeah, this needs aging in wood. That's a bit much. Come on, it's a wine. I'm only taking a sip. Right. I don't really know how to describe this. It smells like rotting fruit, which I'm hoping is just this gunk from when it foamed up that has decomposed, but bottoms up, I guess. Well, I don't have to sanitize this now, so I will just drink straight from it. It is still quite carbonated. It is very dry, and I cannot taste the cherries at all. Um, well, right, I'm just going to try again. I can't. I can taste the alcohol. It's definitely got that ethanol aftertaste, but all the flavors I'm getting right now, I cannot get a single hint of fruit. It tastes like I don't know how to describe it. I really don't. This is new to me. Does it taste like isopropyl? No. I think if I'm gonna have to infuse this with some kind of wood to bring out the taste of the cherries. I I don't know what else I could. It's slightly citrusy. I might have added a tiny bit too much citric acid, which is a flavor balancer. So I can cancel that out with more sugar. Mm. Right. I will get myself a good strip of like a dense oak at some point, and I will age this with oak and see if that improves anything in a few weeks. But right now, the wine isn't promising. The wine is not promising. Oh, what am I doing? I don't want that in my sink. Don't want to wash that with stuff like. It's going to wash that in the sanitizer solution. I don't know. This is the first time I've tried wine in quite a while. I didn't get it right the first time. Although the first time it was completely revolting. I could not drink it even if I forced myself. This, I might be able to force myself. Still, it is slightly fizzy. There's still a lot of CO2 in here. I'll try it again when I go to add the wood in a few weeks. See what the flavour tastes like then. Sometimes it ages out and it tastes great. I mean, the peach wine, I mean, this stuff was completely revolting when I first bottled it. And then a year later, it's still not great, but it's much more drinkable. I can tell you that much. Much more drinkable. Gonna pull up some gunk. That's not good. I think I should just talk to a few people on the brewing subreddits, discuss what I have, and get their opinions on what I should do to balance out the flavors, or really just to give me any flavor. This is 2 liters of juice from crushed cherries, and then 3 liters of water and a load of sugar. It should taste like cherries, but yeah. You can never go off the initial taste. It never tastes right when you first put it into a second bottle. When it's finished, the flavor profile should be more on point, but it will need aging. This won't be ready to drink until sometime next year. Glass on glass, it's trying to slip away from me. Okay, that's all I'm getting out of that. Still, based on alcohol percentages at least, it's a promising start. This is probably going to ferment to about 10% in the end, which won't be great for a wine, but you know, commercial wines, they use very specific strains of yeast. Are we ever going to get a return of potato pops? I think I know what I did wrong. I didn't mash them enough. But not tonight. We're not potato popping tonight. Is that in far enough? That doesn't look like it's in far enough. Yeah, I didn't get the mash smooth enough. So there was probably still a good chunk of potato in there somewhere. But I'm not against trying again. I mean, most of the time when I make it, it works. There we go. Good bit of CO2 there. Put that in to sanitize. And when I say sanitize, I do just mean I'm going to fill up my bath in sanitizer solution and clean everything thoroughly. What's on the menu tonight? Curry! Right, secondary fermentation started. Probably by the end of this month, they'll be ready to bottle and age. I hope, if I remember correctly. I mostly just want to bottle them to get them out of the way. Because 2 5-litre jugs that you have to keep out of sunlight do take up quite a bit of space. Anyway, curry is on the menu tonight. So put the camera back where it's supposed to be and get to making curry. After our little detour into brewing land. Now, I'm making a big batch tonight, so I want you... Oh. This is why you don't balance everything on top of itself. It's still clean. I am making a big batch. Effectively, I have chicken that's starting to get freezer burnt, so I need to cook it. I mean, look, that is freezer burnt chicken. If I don't cook it tonight, next time I go to use it, it will not be edible. So I'm just using all of it. Where's my knife? That's what I get for not doing the washing up. What? I don't even have my stabber? Really? Have I just put things somewhere else? Where's my... No. No, that makes no sense. Where's my extra long fork gone? It's not there. It's not in here. It's just gone. Fine. Oh, this is a sharp knife. Good. That's not important. That's not important. Kind of is, but not right now. Curry, curry, curry. The sauce I will be using as the base of today's curry is a chicken korma, but I will be adding enough curry powder and other spices to this that it will probably turn into a chicken masala. Tikka masala, sorry. Chicken masala. Now, to anyone who doesn't know, freezer quote-unquote burnt chicken is just frozen chicken that has dehydrated. So a food dehydrator, or at least a freeze dryer, is effectively going to give you the exact same result, but usually when you use a freeze dryer, you're using cooked chicken. Put frozen chicken in your freeze dryer and you will end up with freezer burnt chicken. It's the same stuff. Now you've got me craving butter chicken. If I had the resources, I would make that now. I don't have what I need for butter chicken. And to be honest, I don't remember what I need. So that probably doesn't help. Right. I'm going to have to do the washing up. I'm going to have to at least wash up a knife. I am out of knives. Oh, my nose. Right, put you on the bin. Very sanitary. Give this a wash. What do I need for butter chicken again? I'm assuming butter, which I don't have. My ear is itchy. Why is my ear itchy? That makes no sense. I need yogurt or curd and chili powder, coriander, and cumin. Ah, I do not have any yogurt or curd. I do not have any chili powder. I do have some coriander and cumin, though. Ginger and tomato. Tomato I can do. Don't have any ginger. Yeah, so I'm not making butter chicken. Basically. Okay, is this going to trip a breaker? Yep. That tripped the breaker. I tripped the breaker. I love it when that happens. Did that crash my computer? Surprisingly, no, that did not crash my computer. What's the most difficult dish I've ever prepared? I made a... Ooh, I was gonna say the beef dish I did with that stupidly expensive red wine sauce that took me like an hour to make. No, oh no, now I'm confusing difficult with time consuming. Difficult. Hmm. That is a really difficult question to answer, rather, not to ask. It's an easy question to ask. It was definitely a beef dish. I just can't remember what the bloody name of it was. It was a Chinese dish. I can't remember the bloody name. Damn it, now I'm going to have to look up Chinese beef dishes because I can't remember the name of it. Chinese beef dishes. I can tell you what the most time-consuming meal I've ever made. Slow roast pork. 13 hours. 13 hours. Took me an entire day. What was this called? Beef stir fry, Mongolian beef, stir fry, easy stir fry. What is the range of beef? What is this called? Brisket, chow mein, broccoli, ginger. No, that's not it. You have completely stumped me because I can't remember the name of this goddamn meal. Traditional Chinese beef dish. What are you called? It wasn't Kung Pao. What the hell? It wasn't a chow mein. It wasn't even Chinese. Was it Japanese? I know it was Asian. No, I was just on that recipe. What about images? Will I recognize it from the image? The reason I'm remembering this being difficult is it used all four hobs and the oven and the food processor all in a very short period of time. I was juggling like 7 different things to get this all ready at the same time, and I cannot remember what the hell it was called. I made it 2 years ago. I mean, it's not that... My memory is usually better than this. Okay, fine. I can't find the recipe. I don't remember what the hell the dish was called, but I'll tell you what I remember about making it. It was part stew with noodles, with rice, and a vegetable mix. It had honey and garlic and hoisin, and red wine was... No, I drank the red wine with it. I didn't actually cook with it. I have no bloody clue what that meal was called or what website I found it on. You feel bad for asking? No, feel good for asking, because now that I'm on that mission to try and remember it, I'll make it again at some point. You've got me reminiscing about a meal I actually enjoyed. It's not pow or ramen. No, ramen's... It's not a ramen dish. It wasn't... It was an egg noodle. I made it for my parents that evening. I invited them round. What the hell was it called? It had egg served on top of it, like a fried egg on top of it for some reason. The weirdest bloody Chinese recipe I've ever found. But I'll tell you this, it was delicious. It paid off. To wash the rice or not to wash the rice? You know what? I want sticky rice. I'm not washing it. I want sticky rice, so I'm not washing it. Which means I don't want that. I'm going to get water on the laptop. I'm going to get water on the laptop, and I'm burning the chicken, and everything is going to go wrong. If you want to sit there and do the Googling for me, you're looking for a Chinese-inspired dish, or at least a Chinese dish, that involves garlic and honey and hoisin and egg and a separate stir-fry mix with rice and noodles, and it was a very weird dish. That is entirely stuck. Okay. Just when I was coming over here to give you some flavouring. Was it egg foo young? That doesn't sound familiar. I'll have a look. That looks tasty, but no, that's not it. It's an American Chinese dish anyway, it's not traditional. Cantonese. Cantonese American Chinese. Great. But it will come to me eventually. I hope. Anyway, that was about a 3 hours worth of prep for 40 minutes of cooking. That involved all 4 hobs, the oven, the food processor, and it was an absolute mess. And now my mother is in the chat. Hello, good evening. Do you remember the name of that beef dish I served you and Dad at some point? Because I'm trying to remember and I can't. But you are the right person to ask. I hope. Do you remember? No, you don't. Well, at least I asked. It was served with noodles and a fried egg on top, if that helps. The only other dish I know is watan ho or udon. You're making me hungry now. I'm cooking Indian and you're making me want Chinese. Don't just say lol. Look, you are the most embarrassing mother stuck in the early 2000s. Lol was 20 years ago. Anyway. Yeah, you missed the cherry wine tasting, mother. Actually, no. Next time I go to bottle it, maybe I should get your opinions on the taste. You know more about wine than I do. You're old now. Yes, I know you're old. Considering that I'm approaching 30, you'd have to be old. It would be a little bit weird if you were still in your 40s. Actually, no, not weird, disturbing. Thanks. She just had me very young. No, she really didn't. She had an entire life and a career before she had me. Damn it, what's wrong with this onion? Nothing wrong with the onion, it's all my technique. No, I was not planned at all. I was a happy little accident that was apparently returnable if ever the need arose, as if I was bought from a shop. Oh, you stupid camera. Stay. I was an accident too. There's nothing wrong with being an accident. I was a surprise, not accidental. Wasn't my sister the surprise, considering you found out it was very rare for someone in your condition to conceive after you had me? My sister should have been the surprise. The conversation took an interesting turn. Well, that's what happens when my mother joins the chat. Aren't you supposed to be in the bath? Didn't you say you were going home to have a bath? Why are you in the chat? Don't tell me you're watching my stream while you're in the bath. Any embarrassing stories? Yeah, but if you want an embarrassing story, I'll tell you them myself. I'm not a particularly private person. If you want to know something, just ask. Chickpeas, yes, protein. You're spying on me. Oh, great. You heard it here first, folks. My mother spies on me. Going now. Good riddance. No, seriously, goodbye. Have a nice evening. What's the best dish what's the best dish you've ever taught me to make, Mother? Quick, before you go. What's the best dish you've ever taught me to make? Hey, she's my mum, not yours. Hours. This dish looks complicated, and it's only a curry. Just toss everything in a pan and season it. Mostly done now, anyway. That's what. Do I like them spicy? I lost my spice tolerance. I don't know what happened. When I was 16, I could have handled Vindaloo after Vindaloo after Vindaloo like nothing. I loved them. And then I get to about 22, and yeah, I just have no spice tolerance anymore. Late stage puberty just kind of killed my ability for spice. Tolerance. Tolerance for spice. You've never been able to cope with the spicy food. Ah, I used to love it spicy. And anyway, if you don't like it spicy and you're going to make it and you just notice there's a bit too much kick, add cream or yogurt. It actually really helps. Like it thickens the sauce, it alleviates the spice, and it tastes better. I mean, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm adding coconut milk, which yeah, okay, that's not cream, but it's milk. Have I put the rice on? Yeah, I have a rice cooker. Little white thing over there. I imported it from Japan at great expense. I paid more on importing it than I did on buying it. You thought it was a speaker? No, it does look a bit like a stereo, to be honest. But this is a Zojirushi. This is a Zojirushi rice cooker, model NS-SG18. It's a really nice rice cooker. I paid next to nothing for the cooker itself. Import duties and tax and shipping were expensive. I am using basmati. I am using basmati rice. I do not have the packet anymore because I keep all my rice in a nice big rice dispenser. So I don't remember. It's the really big stuff that they sell. No, it's the 10-kilo bag they sell in the Asian section of my local Morrison's. It's not the cheap shite either. It's a pink packet, and it costs like twice as much as Morrison's own brand. You just get the cheapest. Well, I don't, but then again, I only buy it every 6 months, so big deal. Yeah, a 10-kilo bag usually lasts me about 6 months or so. Well, depending on what you're using it for, cheap rice is fine. I mean, if you're covering it in a sauce, you're not going to notice the fact that you've got really starchy rice. I mean, the cheap stuff is usually just really high in starch, but you're not going to notice if it's covered in a sauce. But I would say the only place you're going to waste money is if you're trying to make sushi from home and you're buying like the really expensive top shelf brand sushi rice. You can just use regular home rice for sushi. You don't need to buy sushi rice because it's always sold in really small bags for really expensive prices. Daniel's palate is too sophisticated for cheap ingredients. No, it really isn't. I buy frozen chicken, frozen beef, frozen pork, frozen veg. When it comes to cheap food, there are allowances and then there are exceptions. Like I will buy expensive rice because I only have to buy it twice a year, but everything else in the year I will buy as cheap as possible. Most things are okay. Most Asian ingredients in other countries are marked up to a ridiculous degree because they're seen as fancy food and people will pay more, but they're not. How much Monster Munch do I have left? I think I've eaten about half of it. Think I've eaten about half? I don't know. I haven't counted. Not bad. It's 120 bags, and I picked them up 5 days ago. The fact that I have eaten anywhere close to half is bad. Yeah, it's mostly the beef flavour, which I'm not a massive fan of, which is why they're still there. Am I a real butter guy? I don't really buy butter that often, but yeah, I don't like marsh. Exotic fruits. You've tried durian, white mango, starfruit, and prickly pears. I've never tried any exotic fruits. I don't really eat fruit in general that often either, unless I'm having a smoothie, in which case I just buy frozen stuff, because it's a smoothie. It's going to be liquid eventually. Who cares if it's a bit squishy? That's a thick slushy. It's really not. It's just mostly ice. It is pretty soft. Try kiwi. No, I've had a kiwi. They're okay. Coconut milk. Which is kind of pointless considering I'm using a korma sauce. It already has coconut milk in it. That's pretty exotic. Yeah, but they used to give them away at school. Like, they were part of the school lunch meal thing as the fruit option. Kiwis. So, lychees are too much like eyes. Lychees are too much like eyes. I've never looked at a lychee, so I wouldn't know. Do lychees look like eyes? That is a good question. I can buy lychee juice. Oh, okay. It looks like a strawberry from the outside, but you open it, it has... Yeah, okay. Looks a bit like an eye, I guess. I don't disagree. I will show the image that I am seeing. I can see how that would look like an eye. And they are squishy like eyes. Yeah, I've never tried squashing an eye, but yes, okay. I will take you at your word. They are squishy like eyes. Now I need to make some lychee wine. Can you make lychee? It's not a very sweet fruit. How much sugar is in a lychee? Can you make wine from lychees? Uh, it's a monotypic taxon, whatever the hell that means. It's part of the soapberry family, and if it's a soapberry, it's going to taste horrible. Uh, native to Vietnam, Philippines, and Malaysia. Okay, so it's an Asian fruit. I've inspired the idea of froob tube. I inspired the idea of the froob tube. How? How did I inspire the idea of the froob tube? Sweet, mildly tart flavor with a distinctive floral aroma. No, you inspired the idea of lychee wine. Yeah, okay, lychee. I'm looking into whether or not it's even possible right now. Um, Cultivation of the lychee began in the southern China region, dating back to 1059 AD. So it's been about 1,000 years since we started cultivating them. What is in them? They are 82% water, 17% carbohydrates. That's a bit low for a wine, and 1% protein. High in vitamin C. Uh, they're only 66 calories per lychee. What country do we get them from? That's a good question, considering they're mostly an Asian fruit. Oh, lychee seeds contain, I'm not even going to pronounce that, MCPG, which is it causes hypoglycemia. How? It causes over sugaring. No, it's under sugar. Okay. Where are they mostly imported from today? Southeast Asian countries as well as Australia are the main cultivators today. Most United States cultivators import their seeds and also their plants from China, except for one who imports from Hawaii. Okay, so they're grown all over. Monster Energy must be far more healthy. What? Monster Energy is much more healthy than lychees? No, surely not. Well, that being said, I drink a lot of Monster. Never more than 2 cans a day. It's bad for you. Specifically, the caffeine intake is bad for you. Let's just pretend it is. Well, if you're drinking the sugar-free Monster, I guess it couldn't be too bad. Surely. Do I have a slow cooker? I do, but every time I use it, the food ends up burnt. I also have a pressure cooker, but I've never tried using it before. Recommend some pressure cooker recipes. Maybe I'll experiment. Pressure cookers can explode, so I don't think firemen will be too keen. Ah, yeah, but you see, the explosion will be steam. So it will be a big boom, but there'll be no flame. Anyway, when I say I have a pressure cooker, I mean I found one. I haven't actually tried cooking in it. But it has a pressure release valve, so in theory it's safe. What did I just pour in? The rest of the curry sauce. I just rinsed it out to get the last little bits that were stuck to the jar. Store-bought chicken korma sauce. I'm using that as the base of my curry sauce. The rest of it is all the spices and the coconut milk. And a little bit of tomato puree, which I'm about to add. Tastes good. You don't want to summon the fire brigade twice in 1 month. Ah, but it's a new month now. It's May. I summoned them in April before, so we're fine. The clock's reset. Do I ever put raisins in my curry? No. But I know that's a thing. Also chocolate. Chocolate in curry is a thing. I don't know. If I ever want to try an exotic curry, I'll just go to a curry house. I'm not going to mess around at home trying to make one. Because at least if I mess up, I can complain and maybe get a discount on my meal. Chocolate and chili. I have never tried making chili. I do enjoy chili. My mother used to make it quite a lot. But yeah, I don't think I've ever made chili myself. Yeah, how are we now? Oh yeah, that's good. That's good. And a slight kick of spice in the aftertaste. You should. You love chili beef nachos. So, chili with a potato-based tortilla chip covered in artificial cheese flavoring. You can't go wrong with chili beef nachos. Okay, so now there are two people who think that chili beef nachos are a good thing. I do like nachos and I do like chili, but I don't know if I'm going to like the two together. Is this a an actual thing? Is this a thing that people actually do? With some creme fraiche and cheese. So it's a chili with a potato-based tortilla chip and artificial cheese flavoring with cream and cheese. It just sounds like you don't like chili. Stop getting stuck. I need my good straw back. My parents have it. Yeah. Rice is boiling. Just started steaming. I just ordered some metal straws. Yeah, make sure you get ones with a thicker diameter than these. Like, these are okay straws, unless you're trying to have a slushy. These are way too small. I don't know where I got those from, to be honest. I got them in a kit. Oh, I got them with the cocktail making kit. They're cocktail straws. Where is the rest of that, to be honest? Where's the shaker? Where's the shake? Where is the cocktail shaker? Do I not have it? You know what? I think that might be one of the items that didn't survive the move. A lot of things disappeared when I moved, and I moved a year after. I moved 3 times in as many years. So, end of 2020, I moved out for the first time. I was 21. I was ready to go and, live on my own. Except I wasn't ready mentally, and also my neighbours were wow. Like, I already have anxiety and panic attacks and severe depression, but then my neighbours, I was told no pets. Upstairs neighbour had dogs, downstairs neighbour had dogs. So that pissed me off immediately. Upstairs neighbour was a schizophrenic addicted to methadone. He was on methadone, so he was usually high and shouting at himself. or he was getting visitors at all hours who were also druggies. And the downstairs neighbours, I think they were possibly growing cannabis because the smell was overpowering. So I lasted less than 2 weeks at that address. I moved back home. So that was my first move. And then the end of 2021, I moved to Hastings. At least the first time I was moving locally. I didn't even leave my hometown. But end of 2021, moved to Hastings. End of 2022, my sister needs a place to live. My tenancy is up for renewal, so my sister took my tenancy and I moved. And since 2022, I have been here. So it 3 times in 3 years, I moved house and things disappeared. Sounds like a setting for a sitcom. Yeah, except that that they weren't very talkative neighbours. They did not talk to me at all. The only time I ever met any of my neighbours is when the downstairs neighbour went to take their dogs out and the upstairs neighbour went to deposit his dog's excretions. And the day I moved in, the upstairs neighbour came to visit me and say, if there's loud noises and bangs and shouting, don't worry, it's just me. I'm a schizophrenic, I have a social worker, it's all under control. Which doesn't concern me at all. No, it's not a concerning thing to hear the day you're moving in, that your upstairs neighbour's a paranoid schizophrenic. But I laugh about it now because I'm on much stronger meds. I did move to a nicer area. Yeah, I did. I did move to a nicer area. I was living on the western edge of Lincolnshire, so Nottinghamshire side of Lincolnshire, in a town called Grantham, which is famous for being the birthplace of Margaret Thatcher and the town that educated Sir Isaac Newton. And it's a very conservative area full of a very aged, conservative mindset population who do not like the fact that it is now being swarmed by, well, people moving to this country. The stares and opinions you get when there's someone who isn't a white national British walking into a shop. Wow, that area does not like people who are not from England. But anyway, it does have a nice church. My grandparents got married there. It's my grandmother's hometown. She grew up down the road from where I moved. But here's the thing. The only important factor about Grantham now is it's a rest point on the A1. So if you're trying to get down from Scotland to London, you're probably going to stop off in Grantham to catch some sleep, 40 winks, a meal. I mean, when I moved, the KFC had just gotten built. Like, I moved the day that we got decent fast food. You know someone from Grantham? There's a lot of people in Grantham. Yes. I'll tell you another thing about Grantham. Very old blood in Grantham. Local families have a lot of political sway, let's say. And I pissed off one of the local families by not getting along with their youngest daughter in school. And that did not end well. Good commuter town if it wasn't such a dump. That is very true. The issue with Grantham being a dump is that nothing on the high street survives more than 6 months. And the reason nothing on the high street in Grantham survives more than 6 months is because the people that own all the buildings on the high street are based in Lincoln. And they've set their prices for rent as if they were in Lincoln. So Grantham's economy doesn't really go as far as it does in Lincoln. Like, there aren't as many people walking down the high street ready to spend a lot of money. So shops cannot afford their rent and they disappear. Except for the barber shops, which I'm pretty sure are just money laundering. What's the best thing about Hastings? Oh, well, I could say the ocean. I could say the beach. I could say the beach restaurant Goat Ledge, which I love. I could say the public transport infrastructure, which is much better than Grantham. I can actually get around without having to walk everywhere now. Um, the Battle. Oh, yes, Battle, 6 miles up the road. That's good. Nice abbey. Very good architecture. All the buildings are old. There aren't any ugly new builds like you find all over Hastings. Like, Hastings is a Victorian era town. The majority of Hastings was built during the Victorian era, and while all of the buildings look like they're from that era, they are very large, extravagant, tall ceilings and really, really massive windows that are impossible to insulate. But you go to Battle, it's a little bit older, and all the architecture actually has character and quaint little, like, none of the walls are perfectly straight. They were all hand built with not uniform shaped rocks and old thatch roofs. It's an older town, and I do appreciate the fact that it hasn't tried to be modern. But anyway, if I were to pick one prevailing feature of Hastings that I would say is the best thing about Hastings, the pubs. Because this is a tourist destination, there is actually variety in the watering holes, in the drinking holes in town. There is actually a local community centered around pubs. Like my local pub, which is actually that way if I'm pointing in the right direction, is it's a proper local pub. The only people that go in there are locals, and you'll have people that are there every night, and you get to know the people behind the bar, and you get a rapport, and they just basically become an extension of your family. And if I could afford to drink there more often, I would. But because we are tourist centric, there are dozens of pubs in town, and when the tourists are here, they are packed with live events, singers and game nights, and lock-ins happen from time to time too. Um, and the variety of local brewed drinks is nice as well. You go to Grantham, there are two pubs. That's it. My sister has worked at both of them, by the way. How much is a pint? It's like a fiver, unless you go to the Weatherspoons, then it's like £3. But then again, Weatherspoons subsidizes their pints because they own the breweries. But yeah, it's not bad. Like if Hastings Pier ever actually gets sold, because it's currently trying to change hands, and there is actually a drinking establishment on the pier again, I really hope it isn't £12 a pint next time. Because last time that we had somewhere to buy drinks on the pier, it was £12 a pint. And you could see the disappointment in the faces of anyone who would come for a concert, because there's a stage on the pier, seeing the prices of the drinks. Like, it's not supposed to be £12 a pint. You can't afford that. You love a pier. Yeah, sadly, the pier is kind of dead at the moment. It's in the midst of being sold, and the only thing that's actually on the pier at the moment is the sauna. There's a sauna on the pier. I haven't been in, but it's there, and it smells like incense when you walk past. I don't know what they're burning in there, but it smells. Um, but the pier is still open for you to walk on there and fish during the day and catch the sights. But the restaurant is closed. The ice cream parlor isn't there anymore. All of the market stalls that would be on the pier, they're all gone, and the pizzeria is gone. It's all shut down because they're trying to sell it. So, yeah. Uh, it's not as seasonal as like Skegness, I guess. If you're familiar with Skegness, it is very seasonal there. Out of season, the town is dead. There's still a lot of events and activities that happen in town over the year outside of the season, but half of the town's seafront is just seasonal focused. It has all the tourist attractions, all the rides, and um, it. I want to say it's 60% seasonal, whereas Skegness is like 100% seasonal. It's not as bad as it could be, but the pier isn't supposed to be seasonal. Sure, on the season it will be packed and there'll be extra things happening, but the pier is supposed to be a year-round place for you to go and spend your time and have a bite and have some fun. And it's right across the road from the White Rock Theatre, which has, you know, year-round bookings for comedy and high-class theatre and poetry and ballet. But yeah, the pier isn't technically tourist focused. It's not as seasonal as you would expect it to be. It's not like Blackpool. It's not like Blackpool. Have I ever been to the theatre? No, I have not. Mostly because no one I want to see is ever there. I should take my mum. Yeah, I have to take my dad too. And it's not cheap. Um, I don't know what's on at the moment. I don't check. The last time I went to a theatre, I went to the Stratford East Theatre for Shoot from the Hip's Christmas special. If you're familiar with Shoot from the Hip, they are very funny. They can pay. Well, then it's not my treat, is it? Yeah, I went to see Shoot from the Hip's Christmas special in December. It was my birthday treat. Stratford East Theatre. I had a great time. Pints there were like £8. The treat is my company. Yeah, but my parents can get that for free. Hmm. Okay. The rice says it needs 5 minutes, so food's almost ready. Is Shoot from the Hip ever going to release the video of that Christmas special? It's been 5 months. I'm surprised it's not on their YouTube yet. Let's see. Let me check Shoot from the Hip. Yeah, it tastes great, by the way. It is good. I know how to make curry. It's one of the few meals I don't mess up. You love listening and learning about the local lore of Hastings. Did I ever play World of Warcraft? Yeah. Um, Last time I picked it up around the time that Cataclysm came out, so I am an older WoW player. I dropped it in 2018. I want to say I found other MMOs that I wanted to play. Still, Shoot from the Hip. Is that Christmas special out yet? Let's see. Well, they did release a Christmas special 4 months ago, but that's the wrong one. That's not the one I went to. No, okay, they haven't released the Christmas special I went to see yet. That's a shame. It was funny. Just out of curiosity, would I be interested in some laptops and tech consoles from Canada? If you're willing to ship them, I'm not going to say no. And what voltage is Canada again? I have a step-down converter for my rice cooker, which is 2,000 watts. So I can do 110 volt. If you are interested in shipping me anything, I will not say no. But just remember, it won't be cheap. It will not be cheap. And I don't know what the intricacies are regarding shipping laptops. Yeah, lithium ion cells. I don't know what the import regulations are for that in the UK. But yeah, laptops are always great. They need some repair. I'm always up for a challenge. I am always up for a challenge. Which reminds me, I need to order the battery for that MacBook at some point. Just because you mentioned laptop repair. You'll look into it. Well, if you want to do it and you can find a way to make it affordable, I will discuss that with you via email. There's one in the description if you want to contact me. And you can ship it to, you know, a local pickup locker. That's usually cheapest, but I'm not sure saving £5 is going to matter much when it's going to cost however much it costs to get it here in the first place. But obviously, it won't be a priority shipment, so just do the cheapest option you can find. As long as it makes it here eventually, I'll be very thankful. Oh, that extra tomato. That's always good. But for anyone else who's currently here or anyone watching the VOD, if you want to help out the channel at all, you can email me at the email in the description of this video, or if you're just like throwing money away, you can send money via PayPal to that same email address. But don't donate money, please. It's a complete waste of time. But if you are so inclined, that email address also happens to be the one I use for PayPal. So, same email. Okay, the rice is ready. Here's a question though. Since the channel isn't monetized, is it even possible to send a super chat at the moment? Because this channel isn't monetized yet. I don't have enough average viewers, or subscribers for that matter. I'm fairly certain you can't send a super chat to a channel that isn't monetized. But what would the logistics of that be if you could? Because all of the money would just go to YouTube at that point, wouldn't it? Yeah, that would be a complete waste of money. No, you can't. Good. I don't want anyone wasting their money. So if you want to give me money, hire me as, you know, a PC repair tech. Like that is what I do. If you want to give me money somehow and help me out financially, get something in return. I would subscribe, but there isn't an option for you to do so. Wait, you can't subscribe? Why can't you subscribe? Have a look at that. Oh, this laptop works so much better now I've sorted out the stream. Swap to the right account. Oh, you meant the $5 monthly subscription. Yeah, I need to be monetized for that. There's no way to get me monetized if I don't have, let me check this. I think it's 500 subscribers, an average view count, and something else per month. Yeah, here we go. Earn. What do I need? Right, I need 500 subscribers, 3 video uploads every 90 days, which I'm already doing, and either 3,000 average watched hours per year. So I just need to get 3,000 hours worth of videos watched this year, and I can maybe get monetized. Or 30,000 shorts views in 90 days. Yeah. I'm a way off from. Oh, sorry, 3 million shorts views in 90 days. I was looking at the wrong figure. I'm a way off from being monetized on here. It's a shame. My old channel, Daniel Does Tech, that was around for a long time, back when the monetization eligibility was easier. So that channel was monetized. But this channel isn't. So I don't make any money from this channel. But then again, I don't care. I don't make money from the majority of things I do. I mean, repairing PCs barely ever makes me profit, but I still do it for fun. Writing books barely ever makes me profit. Doing odd jobs on Fiverr never really makes me much money. Just being a general handyman, if anyone needs some help, that's about as good a paycheck as I can expect month to month. Because at least then I actually get paid for my time at a reasonable rate. But yeah, YouTube, I don't expect it to make money, and it doesn't need to. I'm still going to do it. Something I enjoy. There's probably some law I'm breaking right now for serving curry in a salad bowl. This is a salad bowl. I'm just using it because of how deep it is. That's what I like about my channel. I'm motivated by curiosity, not the money. Well, yes, I am. Very much so. I just want to see what happens if I mess around. Mm. That is lick the spoon good. Mm. Just that slight aftertaste of spice. If anything, this channel gives me a reason to actually feed my curiosity, I guess. Because the 2010 Ultimate Gaming Rig, which will hopefully be out by the end of this month, like, there's no way I would have put that together just for fun if I wasn't doing YouTube. Let's cover that over. Did I get the GTX 580 working? No, the driver just gave up. Like, both the 580s still work. I just can't get Windows to play with the driver anymore. But I'm done testing the 580s. I'm moving on to testing GTX 760s. Because you hit a brick wall with anything newer than 2023, because every new game now requires DirectX 12 support. So the GTX 580 just cannot run any new game. But the 760 has at least driver level DirectX 12 support. It doesn't have feature level support, so not everything works. But because the 760 matches a 580 in horsepower, it's pretty much the same kind of frame rate that you would have gotten if the 580 could actually run those games. But yeah, the reason I'm done with testing the 580s is because I couldn't get my hands on 3 gig models, so I have to test a 760 anyway, because it's the only affordable way to get 580 performance with more than 1.5 gigs of VRAM. Yeah, sometimes I do need to move on to the next project, and I don't know what that's going to be, to be honest, because I've got a few ideas, but I'm waiting for my next bit of money so I can order a second 760, and I still need to finish benchmarking all the games with the first 760. And then I need to decide what I'm going to do about comparing that rig to my current rig. And, you know, I don't really want to put my graphics card in there, but I might have to. I mean, there's nothing stopping me from doing it. I mean, I'm using a trustworthy power supply. Everything is functional. It's not going to break my graphics card. But I'll have to DDU the NVIDIA stuff and install all the AMD drivers and make sure I can get my overclock stable again on a completely different platform. And yeah, I'm going to be held back by PCIe Gen 2 rather than Gen 4. And there's all these other factors like DDR3 RAM rather than DDR4. And it's going to be a much slower system than mine, but the question is, how much slower? How much does a platform from 2008 and a CPU from 2010 bottleneck a modern GPU? Anyway, I need to eat my curry before that goes cold. I have leftover rice and leftover curry for a second portion, or maybe some more tomorrow, I don't know. Thank you everyone for being here, and thank you for watching the VOD if you watch the VOD. I'll see you in 24 hours with more food. Bye. Huh? We dropped frames? When? How? OBS being OBS. Oh, I intend to enjoy it. I will definitely enjoy it.